When everybody would talk to me about losing weight, well, I'd get mad. My mom said something to me one time, I didn't talk to her for 2 weeks. My dad said something to me one time and I got mad. And I wobbled away. If I didn't walk, I wobbled away. And then a lot of us understand what that is. Because reality is hard to accept. Where you're at or where you're going is hard for us to accept because we're living our own little bubble. We just kind of, we're building ourselves in a jail is the best way of putting it. And over the period of the years, I had this 25-foot steel, barrier around me, 25-foot thick steel barrier around me, so I wouldn't let everything that was coming at me, let it bounce off. I let it bounce off. And I tried to stay out of public the best I could, because what's going to do when you see somebody my size, they're going to stare at you, they're going to look, and they're going to point. It's just reality. When I first started working out, I would go into the gym with a sun visor on and headphones on, because I didn't want to see people talking about me or pointing at me, which I knew they were. And I always tell this joke, if I see somebody sitting and talking about me, I'd catch them on the floor doing sit-ups, went over and sat on them. There's nothing they could do. I couldn't move myself around. A 700-pound person sits on them. But, by the time I got there, it had been like a big 747 come out and they would have moved, but regardless. But I did it for me. I didn't do it for the neighbor. I didn't do it for the people at the gym that was pointing at me, pointing fingers at me. And I know, I would see a lot of sympathy. And so I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see sympathy. Every time I saw sympathy, I thought it was hopeless. Let me tell you another why is because if you think you're hopeless, are you going to be willing to fight? No. You just want to cave and give in. You can't be so emotional when people stare at you or people point and you start crying. I know I've done that. And then we go back to accountability. That's when I started pointing fingers at everything in the world. You cannot point fingers. You got to be accountable, and you have to hit the dedication, perseverance, and the willing to sacrifice who you are to become who you want to be. My favorite saying in the world.